talk, fired up and loud. The Wolfpack Nation, we're a hell of a crowd. From the first pitch to the final play, Tuffy talk, let's roll today.
Raleigh hasn't seen anything like this in 20 years. Well over 100,000 fans are expected here in Raleigh, North Carolina this Saturday for the Carolina Hurricanes parade. And you got myself today, Layton Smith, you got my friend Ethan Berry here. We are so excited today to talk about an episode that, yes, is not 100% tied to NC State. Well acknowledge of that. But we're going to talk today about the ties between the Hurricanes and NC State, some of which you may not have even thought of. And also to answer the question, what does this Stanley Cup run mean for NC State here moving forward? What's the big picture here? And, again, this is the first time the Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup in 20 years. We have Jordan Staal, who's the oldest Conn Smythe Trophy winner in NHL history. And again, there's just a lot here to really break down and uncover here. As again, I think this means a lot, is really going to help really expand the NC State Wolfpack's future here going forward here. But Ethan, I do want to ask you though, before we dive into it here, looking back at the Hurricanes, man, over the last few days, it's been insane seeing how hard the Carolina Hurricanes have been partying it up over the last few days, man, with them celebrating at the Aria Club, with going to Raleigh downtown restaurants the last couple of days back to back, man. It's been a nonstop party here, man. And have you ever seen anything like this before?
They've been enjoying it, right? As they should. Is there anywhere better to win a championship than Las Vegas?
Yeah, I can't argue. I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. And but you don't think it would have been? I mean, I think it would have been so much bigger if it was here in Raleigh. I mean, compared to Vegas, man, it would have been huge here if it
Well,
was in
yeah,
Raleigh,
yeah,
10 times bigger.
yeah. But I'm not even talking specific to the Hurricanes. I'm just talking in general, right? Like in terms of places to party and go out and have a blast. To me, Las Vegas probably top of the list. Yeah, I'm with you. Like the excitement around the city. And it's weird. Like the Canes have been in the playoffs every year. They've been in the second, third round every single year. And obviously they've had trouble getting past it, but it really I don't know, like it went to a different level that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Like me as a sports guy, and I guess maybe the answer is you draw in a bigger audience for the Stanley Cup, which is expected, but I don't know. I still think like it's the hometown team. It's the only professional sports team in the Big Four sports in this area. I kind of think I would have thought people got on board earlier, but it didn't happen until the Stanley Cup. Once they got up against Montreal, and it was like, okay, they're just on a different level than Montreal. They're going to go to the Stanley Cup, and yeah, it feels like everybody's on board. Everybody's been on board. You talked about how much fun they've been having since they came back to town, on Glenwood Ave the first night back. Yeah. I mean, it's been great for the whole city, for the Hurricanes, obviously. And it's been a long time coming for those guys too.
Yeah, and I mean, I do want to go ahead to and address. Obviously, I know 2 years ago we made it to the Final Four. I know 2 years ago won AC championship, but Ethan, NC State fans are always telling us, to take the red glasses off. Take off the red blinders here, and really, at the end of the day, keeping in mind that the Hurricanes is not. Just NC State fans. It's not just UNC fans. It's not just Duke fans, Wake Forest fans, you name it. Like we're all Hurricanes fans, all of us. And so, like, you're basically taking four beast fan bases and putting them together. So, I mean, like, even looking at the watch parties that were taking place for the Stanley Cup playoffs and specifically Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, you had a sold out Lenovo Center, not a single seat available. You had a packed out area outside of the Lenovo Center. You had a Red Hat amphitheater that was completely packed. You had other huge watch parties all over downtown Raleigh, man. Like the fan support was just absolutely insane to say the least here. But also too, kind of talking about here now about the parade. So the parade is happening this Saturday, June 20th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in downtown Raleigh. The route will begin on Hillsborough Street, first tie there to NC State, and go down St. Mary Street, head past the state capitol, and then it'll go down Morgan Street and Fayetteville Street to wrap it up. But again, there's a huge turnout that's expected for this event, and they're expecting to start shutting down roads in downtown Raleigh starting at 3:30 a.m. I mean, that's how big they're expecting this. They are not taking any chances whatsoever. I'm actually surprised they're not starting to shut down the roads the night before, even too, here as well. But there's gonna be 5 free parking decks. But let's be real, good luck getting a spot in those free parking decks, quote unquote. And even the Raleigh mayor already said that the June 20th is going to be Carolina Hurricanes Day. And so now I want to kind of start talking about the first tie here, which is number 17, which is now, in my opinion, synonymous with both organizations. The Hurricane side, you have Rod Brind'Amour, who, in my opinion, has now solidified himself as the biggest legend in Carolina Hurricanes history. And as the first coach and player to
Yeah.
win the cup with the same team since 1956. I mean, it's only a matter of time. I mean, just go ahead and put the statue up in front of the Lenovo Center, in my opinion, here. But then you obviously have from the NC State side with Philip Rivers, in the number 17, which doesn't need to be said there. I mean, I think, Ethan, if you were to put a 17 tattoo on your arm, I think both Hurricanes fans and NC State fans would give you a big
Yeah.
thumbs up on that.
Yeah, numbers have a funny way of doing things like that, right? Like you don't necessarily expect it. There's not necessarily a tie there going back, with Rivers and Brendamore. Um, so it doesn't. You're not like, oh man, like yeah, that makes sense. But it's funny, like that kind of stuff seems to work itself out with numbers, like I said. So I mean, I want to say that number is the only number retired uh for state. I don't think they have another one retired. I know they're honored. I don't think they're retired. I'd have to double check on that.
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna say like Jim Richards. Jim Richards obviously got to be retired. Even Torrey Holt
uh,
too as well, right?
okay, so yeah, I was wrong. So Philip Rivers, Roman Gabriel, Ted Brown, Dick Christie, and Dennis Bird.
Yeah. Ted Brown.
So then the other ones are honored. So Chubb and Peyton
Yep.
Wilson, Russell Wilson, and all those guys. So um, but yeah, I mean either way, right? One of 5 numbers that's retired. So yeah, and obviously you're bringing it back out next year, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago with Gunner. So yeah, I mean Rod Brendamore. I mean 2 of the most impactful. I think the measures that Philip Rivers brought to NC State and boosted the excitement for football, similar to what Rod Brend'Amour's done with hockey, right? Like if you take Rod Brend'Amour out of the equation, is like are the Hurricanes even still in Raleigh, right? Like there was, relocation talks forever with that. And now with the consistent winning, like that's pretty much gone. And so I think without those 2 guys, obviously you said wearing the same numbers, like the sports scene in Raleigh may look completely different.
Yeah, just a quick side note too as well. I mean, NC State retiring the number 9, in my opinion, is you just gotta do it at this point. I mean, there's no way a player would have the guts to even try and don that number 9 once again with having Mario Williams, who's the first and only so far number 1 overall pick from the ACC on the defensive side of the ball. And then you got Bradley Chubb, who's the all-time sacks leader, NC State. I think the number 9 has well done his job, to say the least. But tying it back further really to Lenovo Center. I mean, so, back and thinking like 1998, 1999 or so, is when at the time, the Entertainment Sports Arena was opened. And, the first ever basket made by NC State men's basketball player in that Entertainment Sports Arena was none other than our new head coach, Justin Gainey, here, who, tying a quick tie to as well, which is not really a big tie, but it's just an interesting thought. Is the fact that he was the one that was chosen to sound the siren for Game 1 of the Ottawa series. Um, and again, it's just, in my opinion, just
Mhm.
fascinating now the fact that the guy who made the first ever shot in the Entertainment Sports Arena is now our head coach. And also too the fact too that another tie is the fact that Rod Brind'Amour's wife went to NC State, and you can't help but ignore that Rod Brind'Amour fairly often wears NC State hats, during interviews, things like that. And him saying, "Well, it was just in my car, and I just grabbed it." Him looking at it like as if he doesn't know what's on it. Like, come on, you probably know what that hat is. I mean, we see you at NC State baseball games all the time talking about Coach Avent. Don't hide it. It's your badge of honor, and you wear it proudly. You know exactly what you're wearing, and you're wearing it proudly.
He never happens to have a UNC hat in his car, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, with Gainey, it's a full circle moment, it's a full circle moment, and the upgrades that they've done there and continue to do there while they discuss the possibility. I mean, not recently, but there's been discussions of a downtown arena or going somewhere else, whatever it may be. Full circle moment, right? With Gainey back in Raleigh. Yeah, I mean, for Brind'Amour, like, what's the saying? No PR is bad PR, right? Like, you'll take it, and I think the visibility, the overlap. There's been a number of NC State related people, figures, whatever you want to call it, who have done the siren. Um, you mentioned Gainey, Dave Doran, and there's been many more too.
Yeah, I mean, even Wes Moore's
Um,
done it,
he did.
before too as well.
Has he? DJ
Yep,
Burns
yep.
did it.
DJ Burns as well. Yep.
And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they got Elliot Avent out there at some point. Although I don't know if that's really his thing. But yeah, I want to say Papalizio's done it. Like, it's been a lot of guys. And again, Manny Diaz has done it. Like, it's not that Duke and UNC haven't done it, but there's definitely been more of an NC State feel there, which makes sense. I mean, State has the fans who are here, right? The Duke fans are generally not in the state of North Carolina. The UNC fans are, should I be nice? I don't know.
No,
Like,
absolutely not. Yeah.
uh, there's not as many UNC fans, whether they didn't go to the school, whether they're from a different area, fair weather fans, whatever. There's more state ties, and you can hear it in the arena when there's a little bit of overlap. Like, it does feel like there's more state fans. Now, that's not to mean the Canes want to alienate UNC or Duke, but the ties are just closer. And I know we're going to talk about the hockey game, excuse me, at Carter-Finley, but yeah, it's the ties
Mhm.
are natural. And I think Rod Brind'Amour, the baseball team, it's always been great overlap there. And like I said, no PR is bad PR.
No, I mean, you teed it up for me, so I might as well just go ahead and take my driver out the bag and go ahead and take a swing out of here. I mean, obviously, another quick just layup of a tie here is around the red, black, and white color scheme, which is an
Yeah.
easy connection between NC State and the Hurricanes. So, no shocker there. But I mean, I do want to talk about, I mean, like you said, again, the 2023 Stadium Series at Carter-Finley Stadium between the Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes. So 3 years ago. And obviously, the reasoning, which I think makes the most sense of why it would be at Carter-Finley Stadium is because it's right across the street. Obviously from a logistics perspective, the fact that they could, start inside, whoops, sorry, start inside the Lenovo Center there and just walk right across the street to go to the locker room. But also to make the point that they didn't need though the NC State marching band there. They didn't need Coach Doran there, basically filling up the entire screen. They didn't need after the game to throw up the wolf hands, as a part of their celebration. But they did. And it really made the whole event feel like really an NC State show. I
Yeah.
mean, it was really showing off the NC State branding to a T, to say the least here. But so again, in my perfectly biased opinion here, I think it was the coolest Stadium Series game ever so far. I mean, it was in the South. I mean, a market that about 20 years ago, was doubted as, is this really a hockey market? I mean, yeah, like, like there's been games up in New York and Boston, but again, those are layups of stadium series. But for it to work as successfully as it did down here in the South, is huge to say the least. And talking about even the Frozen
Mhm.
Finley game, NC State versus UNC, and happened a couple days after the Stadium Series game, and people expected maybe a couple thousand fans there, but they got over 25,000 fans there, Ethan. Even a quick story here, Mario from the Red and White store had a merchandise table, and he actually had to go run back to the Red and White shop to restock, get more merchandise because he was selling out so fast. That's how unprepared they were for this turnout.
Yeah, I went to the Stadium Series game, and I've been fortunate. I've been very fortunate to go to a lot of very very cool games. Went to a World Cup game last week. Um, that one's very close to the top of the list. I've seen playoff games in every sport. I've been to a bunch of college games. Very fortunate to go to the places that I've been. That game was, if not number one, like on the short list, top three, top five that I've been to. Um, you know, and it was, I don't know,
Yep.
it was awesome. It was awesome. Like I don't really know any other way to describe it. You mentioned like the other stadium series and comparing it to those. They're not as unique as they used to be, right? I mean, 15, I don't know when they started those. 15 years ago with the Winter Classics, where it was like one a year. It was like, oh man, like this is the holy grail of hockey games. Now, obviously, they've expanded it and it's been great. And there have been other games in the South, but it's like it's at Dodger Stadium or it's at the Miami Marlins ballpark or I'm trying to think of where else they've done it. But it's like, basic whatever. Tampa, they did one. Okay. But to do it at a
Yep.
college football stadium, and there's been a couple, right? I think they did one at Michigan where it really put Carter-Finley on display. To me, that's unique. It was an awesome game. I'm sure the players who played in it will never forget it. The people who were there certainly will never forget it. It was almost like a coming out party for the Canes as like real contenders, kind of in a way, I thought. Now, obviously, it took them a couple more years to get the Stanley Cup, but that was a significant game, and obviously, if anybody else was fortunate enough to be there, you'll never forget it. You'll never forget it. It's so, yeah, the college game, the Canes certainly have done a lot of work helping grow college hockey
Yep.
in the area. When I was in college, I broadcasted the NC State hockey games. That was one of the jobs I had with Pac TV. And so, I've been familiar with that for almost 10 years now, 8, 9 years. And so to see how far it's come, now that was before there were any outdoor games. But, State was dominant back then. I was there the first year that they played in PNC, which was a big deal, right? And they played in PNC and uh it was like one side, right? They
Yep.
only let one side of the bottom bowl fill up. So you're talking 6,000 people, maybe something like that, 5, 6,000, which was great at the time. Like that was like, oh man, this is unbelievable for, not school sponsored sports. And then it's just grown and grown and grown. And now you look at where it is now, and there was people talking about, can you make it a varsity sport? Which I don't believe is a realistic option, but the growth there has just been it's been unbelievable. It's been great for that program, to the heights you've seen them reach. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. And yeah, obviously, where is it without the Canes? I think it goes both ways, right? Like I think, getting people into an NC State UNC rivalry game that they otherwise wouldn't be interested in. They're not interested if it's not a State UNC game. Okay, now I'm watching a hockey game. Oh, I kind of like hockey. Now let me check out the Hurricanes. And vice versa. If you're a Hurricanes fan, oh, I'm not really into the college sports thing, which I know, most people in the area are into the college sports thing. But to then look at that and say, oh
Hmm.
man, look at what we have here and the ways it's growing. You said 25,000 people were at that game at Carter-Finley. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, two more quick ties to mention there. First of all, obviously with the Lenovo Center arena renovation that's currently being underway here. And actually the reports are actually saying that because of the Stanley Cup run, that they're actually really escalating to get this done even sooner than even expected. I mean, the entire enhancement project itself is about $300 million, but right now the current phase they're in is costing about $70 million, focusing on the new lower level bowl seats, expanded seating, concourse upgrades too as well. But really beyond the arena itself, they're expecting to spend over $1 billion on the area around the center. So more restaurants, more hotels. I mean, really more foot traffic, and really the key point of really all of this is that it's it's only going to help NC State because pretty much all of this is not getting paid for by NC State, and but it's only going to help NC State in an exponential factor here because it's still the same Lenovo Center that the Hurricanes are playing in. NC State's playing in too as well. So the benefits of this, I mean, from a recruiting standpoint, from a fan experience perspective. So all of it, it's all only positive for NC State, and so winning. So really, to again tie it back, how is the Hurricanes NC State tied? Winning the cup is only going to accelerate and grow the vision for the Lenovo Center. Is and is going to be, and that's only going to benefit NC State.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've seen the upgrades over the years, right? Like even just in the last 10, 15 years, there's been those kind of upgrades. I do think one of the biggest sells for NC State basketball, and this was, before NIL and revenue share became a thing, was you play in an NBA arena, right? Not many, no, it's not literally an NBA arena, but it is a professional sports arena where there's 20,000 seats. It looks good. The scoreboards look good. Like it is a professional
Yep.
arena. Um, and even comparing it to like arenas of similar size, it's not the same. It doesn't have the same energy or aura, as the kids say. Hopefully I use that word right to all the young people out there. Um, it just has a different feel, right? And I think that helps State a ton. Um, because not many people play in an arena that big, and if they do, it's unlikely to be a pro arena. So I do think that helps from the recruiting perspective. Um, you mentioned the upgrades, making it look nicer. Hopefully that includes like locker rooms and stuff like that. I can't imagine they're touching NC State's locker room, but some of the other surrounding stuff, um, will help. Will help. And you take what you can get, especially if you're NC State. You're not paying for it. Maybe you're paying for a little bit, I guess. Um, but I believe this is funded by the Canes, by Tom Dundon. And then you mentioned like what's going on around the arena, and I know that there's some people who aren't happy about this. The diehard tailgaters. Um, I'm not a diehard tailgater. Like I do tailgate to watch games and hang out, but it's not like, oh man, like I'm going for the football game. I know there's some people who go for the tailgates. I'm not one of those people, so I get it from that perspective. But I think if you go to places where you have areas like this, um, it just looks good. It looks better. It's modernized, especially where you are. You're not in walking distance. I mean, you're in walking distance to a Wendy's. You're in walking distance to like one restaurant. Like I think the impact that will have for football and for basketball is worth. I don't even know if there's any tailgate spots being given up, but whatever the number is, to me, it's worth it. Like
Right? Yeah.
again, I mentioned I was at Gillette Stadium this week for the World Cup game, and that's what they've done. Like there's just 15, 20 restaurants, and it's just a different energy. There's still plenty of tailgating space. And I know a lot of people are Atlanta Braves fans. They did the same thing down in Atlanta. It's away from the city, but they made, it's a whole experience. There's somewhere for you to go eat. There's shops. There's all those other things. You can be drawn there outside of game times, right? So to me, I get it. I get being upset, right? If you're a diehard tailgater, if you're saying, man, this is why I go to the games. Number one, I would say you're still probably going to have your spot, right? Like you're probably still going to have it. I don't want to make any promises because I'm not assuring, handing out those spots. But like, if not, like to me, more people are going to be drawn in by the area and what's going on there than are going to be upset about the tailgate spots. And so for me, that's worth it. And then final thing here, can I channel my inner James Henderson for a second?
Go for it.
$300 million renovation. Could we just take five? Could we make it a $295 million renovation and give five of it to Justin Gainey for the roster?
Yeah, and a quick plug here too, as well, here before this last question here. But if you enjoy these breakdowns, so the stat breakdowns, recruiting breakdowns, you name it, make sure to go check out our Patreon. The link is right down at the top of the description. Go check it out. Again, it's only $5 a month, which costs about a thousandth of what it would have taken to buy 2 tickets to Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So just an extremely cost-effective option here. Again, only $5 a month. Go in the link description below. Go sign up here today. Again, you get so much value. 3 members-only videos a week, plus also to a members-only rumor chat too as well. So go and sign up here today here. But really pivoting here into this final big question here. As big as this cup celebration is, Ethan, do you think a NC State men's basketball national championship would almost bring as big of a parade as what the Hurricanes are getting here this Saturday? I mean, just a question here.
Well, I don't think to me the 100,000 is not accurate. Like I don't think that's accurate. Maybe 100,000 extra people into the infrastructure. I would be. I mean, most parades get up to 1,000,000 people, and I
Yeah,
get like not to say it will be, but like if you go to a parade and like I'm sure the Knicks had multiple millions of people there today.
that's true.
I know
That's
when the
true.
Celtics won a couple years ago, that was 1,000,000 plus. Like I think for a pro sports, like I would be surprised if it's less than 500,000 people. Not to say they'll get up to 1,000,000,
Yep.
but
Hmm.
I think it will be pretty jam packed. Um, would more people? That's a good question. I haven't really done my research on college parades. I think a football national championship would, because I just think you have a bigger audience there. Um, Basketball, I don't know. Like I think back to 2024 and it wasn't a parade, but it
Yep.
was like a
Hmm.
celebration and like welcoming them back. There was not that many people there. I at least from I remember from the pictures that I saw, and I don't want to be pointing fingers at everybody else. I wasn't there either. Um, but I had a good excuse though. I was in Europe, but uh, I don't know. Like, and that was pretty close, right? Like that was an ACC championship and a Final Four. Like, are you bringing that? Like, are you
Yep.
bringing 10 times as many people? Probably more than that for a national champ. To me, that just I don't know. Feels like asking a lot. But again, I haven't. To me, it doesn't feel like parades are as big of a deal on the college sports scene either. So to me, that's a big ask. But I would love to find out.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. So I want to ask you to the audience, those watching here or listening here specifically here, let us know in the comments what you think. I mean, specifically, what do you think the impact would be? What would the party be like if NC State men's basketball won a national championship? Just let us know down in the comments. Would be interested to hear more of your thoughts here. But also too as well, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too as well. If that button's lit up for you, that means you have not hit it yet. So make sure you hit that subscribe button as it really helps us in the channel in a huge, huge way. But also, too, if you haven't already hit that like button too as well, please do us a big favor and hit that like button too as well, as it helps the YouTube algorithm pick it up here. And so to make sure that even more and more people can see all these, very interesting ties between NC State and the Carolina Hurricanes too as well. And once again, I already mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, but make sure to go and check out our Patreon. So much value they get out of only $5 a month. But also too as well, make sure to join us for this coming Monday night here at 8:30 p.m. Every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. We have our Tuffy Talk live show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait for it all, and would love for you to be there to discuss all things NC State with us too as well. Especially now that we are entering the off season too as well. But also to make sure to give us a follow, Tuffy Talk now on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. But as always, y'all, we'll see y'all soon. And as always, go Pack, y'all.